A new country, a new life. When you're searching for that perfect rental apartment, I bet your head is swimming with questions like, how much is the rent going to be? And what about all those crazy initial fees, right? But stop right there for a second. There's one super crucial thing that almost everyone moving to Japan overlooks, and that's a fire insurance. Now, you might be thinking, what? I'm careful. I'm not going to cause a fire. I don't need insurance, but trust me on this one. If you're going to rent a place in Japan, this insurance is not just important, it's absolutely essential. If you stick with me until the very end of this video, you're going to get a comprehensive understanding of everything, from the average cost of the policy to the full scope of what it covers. With this knowledge locked down, you can start your new life in Japan feeling totally secure and prepared. Alright, let's start with the most basic question. What exactly is fire insurance anyway? Literally, yes, it's the insurance that helps you out if your home catches fire. But as I mentioned, that's just the tip of the iceberg. This policy compensates you for damages to your home and your personal belongings resulting from a whole range of sudden, awful events. Now, you might be wondering, in my home country, buying insurance is totally optional. Legally speaking, yes, buying insurance is technically voluntary. When you rent an apartment in Japan, the story changes completely. In almost every single rental contract, having fire insurance is a strict condition of the lease agreement. You simply cannot move in without it. This is a crucial, vital rule of Japanese renting because the policy serves to protect both the landlord and you. So, if you're serious about getting an apartment here, you need to understand that fire insurance is just part of the package. Now, the question everyone asks, how much is this going to cost me? It's a fair question, especially with all those moving costs adding up. First, keep in mind that the price of fire insurance in Japan isn't fixed. It changes based on several key factors: the age of the building, the region you live in, what the building is made of, and of course, exactly how much coverage you decide to buy. But let's look at the numbers for what you are likely to get. After checking several popular comparison websites for insurance policies, the average yearly premium seems to fall somewhere between 5,000 yen and 15,000 yen. For instance, if you're renting a modern concrete apartment in a big city like Tokyo, and you take out a one-year policy, it will usually fall comfortably within that range. Think about that for a second. 15,000 yen a year is only about 1,250 yen a month, when you consider that this small monthly fee protects you from massive financial disasters, like having to replace all your electronics after a lightning storm, or paying for thousands of dollars in water damage. It doesn't seem expensive at all, right? Again, prices and coverage will vary between different companies and whether you're renting, owning a house, or living in a condo. So, make sure you compare options yourself to find the best policy that suits your budget and your needs. Okay, now let's get into the most serious part of this whole discussion: liability for damages beyond fire itself and the full scope of your coverage. First, let me tell you about a complicated-sounding Japanese law, the Act on the Responsibility for Fires. This law basically says, if you accidentally cause a fire, you generally don't have to pay compensation to your neighbor for the damage to their property, as long as it wasn't due to gross negligence. But rental apartment is different story. If you cause damage to the property you are renting, meaning the landlord's apartment unit itself through an accidental mistake, you absolutely must compensate the landlord. For example, if you start a kitchen fire that scorches the wall, or a simple water leak ruins the floorboards, you have to pay for those repairs. What is gross negligence? That means a level of carelessness that is totally obvious and dangerous. Think of scenarios like leaving a gas stove burner on and walking away with a bag of instant ramen sitting too close, which then catches fire. If a fire starts because of this level of you should have known better carelessness, you are absolutely liable. But here's a small comfort: even if a fire starts in your room, you are often not held responsible for the damage to your immediate neighbor's personal belongings. That's why they also have their own fire insurance. So, what exactly does this insurance cover? It covers a truly wide range of chaos. Let me list some common situations where your policy will kick in. Fire case: a small kitchen fire, or a fire caused by a cigarette. Lightning case. A bolt of lightning strikes nearby and fries your appliances. Wind damage case. A typhoon rips off roof tiles or damages windows. Water damage case. Flooding from a river causes water to enter your ground floor apartment. It covers natural disasters and common living accidents. But remember, the specific details and maximum payout limits are set by your policy, so you need to check those contract papers very carefully. When you get your rental agreement, you'll find that insurance isn't just one thing. Japanese experts recommend that renters combine 3 specific types of insurance to get full coverage. Thinking about these 3 together is the standard practice here. Type 1, contents insurance. This one is simple. It compensates you for all your personal possessions inside the apartment, your furniture, your electronics, your clothes, your dishes, everything you own. For example, let's say your landlord's building catches fire from an electrical fault, and your TV is ruined because of the smoke and water damage. Since the damage was not your fault, your contents insurance steps in to cover the cost of replacing your TV and sofa. It covers not just fire, but lightning, theft, and wind damage too. This policy is super important because it protects your things, your hard-earned property. Type 2, tenant's liability insurance. As we discussed, if you accidentally cause a fire or a water leak that damages the apartment unit you are renting, you are obligated to pay the landlord for the costs to restore the property to its original condition. And let me tell you, the cost of restoring fire damage can be astronomical. We're talking millions of yen money you certainly don't have lying around. The tenant's liability insurance pays that compensation to the landlord on your behalf. This insurance is the landlord's safety net, which is why it is virtually impossible to sign a rental contract without it. If you don't have this, the landlord assumes all the risk, and they simply won't approve your application. This is the ultimate must-have. Type 3, personal liability insurance. This policy covers you for damages you accidentally cause to other people's property or health in your daily life, and it works even outside your rental property. For instance, you're riding your bicycle and accidentally hit a pedestrian. You're visiting a friend's apartment and accidentally break their expensive vase. This insurance covers liability for small, everyday accidents caused by simple carelessness. Since the compensation amounts for bicycle accidents, in particular, have become very high recently, this personal liability insurance is a smart, super necessary layer of defense for everyone living in Japan. We covered a lot about Japanese fire insurance today. Let's quickly wrap up the most important takeaways. Buying fire insurance is a mandatory requirement for most rental contracts in Japan. No insurance, no apartment. The average cost is reasonable, usually around 5,000 to 15,000 yen per year. This small fee covers you from wide-ranging disasters including fire, lightning, typhoons, and water leaks. By combining the 3 essential policies, contents insurance, tenant's liability insurance, and personal liability insurance, you can perfectly cover your own property, the landlord's building, and your general liability in daily life. It's the perfect protective package. When you get those contract papers, make sure you read the compensation details carefully. Understand exactly what is covered and what the maximum payout limits are, and choose the smartest insurance plan for your new, secure life in Japan. On Moovin, you can search for apartments in Japan from anywhere in the world. We offer support in Japanese, English, Chinese, and Vietnamese. So be sure to check out our official website from the link in the description. If you thought this video was helpful or interesting, please subscribe and hit the like button. Well then, see you in the next video. I'm cheering with all my heart for your happy life in Japan. Bye bye.